Hello, guys. Alex Fedotoff here. Now, I'm really fucking pumped for this conversation now because we have here amazing guy Marek. Marek is our student in e-commerce scaling secrets program. Amazing guy, and he's doing very good numbers. He's doing like $35,000 a day. He has been doing like $60,000 a day just a few weeks ago. Amazing guy doing amazing numbers. And also in terms of his thinking, he's like very high level guy. So I want to see how he thinks. What got him to those numbers? He's from Czech Republic.
Yeah, that's right.
Czech Republic, Eastern European friend. Man, yeah, I'm very excited to have you here. And what got you where you are? Like, I want to just reverse engineer that shit. Because how old are you? 25 years old?
25 years old, that's right.
Cool, man. How did you start with dropshipping in the first place?
First and foremost, it's a great pleasure that we can talk like this. I hope that we will be able to share some golden nuggets because I actually learned from these interviews as well, a lot. Let's say Sam, Wouter, all those people really provided a lot of value. So thanks for that. And when it comes to dropshipping, I started I would say 2.5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Actually, before that, I already had some business. This cap is actually my business. It's like I was running, clothing brand. And then I was like, man, it's slow. So I looked for something that I can do while I study on university. So I was studying economics. I did my bachelor. Then I started, went on master because I was raised up in a pretty mediocre family. I love my parents there. My mom, I actually do everything for my mother, but they're kind of like old school. I bet that that you're from Ukraine, this Eastern Europe, those people, poor mentality, And so I had a lot of false beliefs back in the day when I was starting the business. About 2.5 years, started dropshipping. Half a year, we were losing money. Then November 2018, me and my business partner, we started scaling first time. Then 2019, we did a lot of mistakes. We were wasting a lot of money since our PayPal and everything was in Czech crowns. We didn't even realize how much money we were losing through currency conversion fees because PayPal is just it is what it is. But then 2020, we started hiring on May, and that's where the domino kind of start to roll. Because once we started hiring, my mind kind of got a bit of a more freedom in terms of I could focus on what I'm really good at, and that is just thinking, systemizing, planning, strategizing, and delegating the tasks to other people. And right now, fast forward in 2021, it's definitely our best year. And I hope that we will only go upwards.
That's awesome. And so one of the things you mentioned, right? One of the adjustments that happened to you, you said you started hiring people?
100%.
So what were your first hires?
My first ever hire was kind of something that we call full stack people, full stack person, T-shaped person, meaning a person who is like a generalist who, can do large variety of things, but specializes in that one thing. So that was my first hire. And this guy, super smart guy, super sharp thinker, loyal, and reliable. Yeah, still with us. And he's our COO essentially. Yeah.
Wow, this is awesome. Wow, so that was so crucial moment for you, right? Hiring that particular person.
100%. He helped us with everything, he was doing everything.
Wow. So initially you started you started dropshipping. Now it's for people in the United States, they probably won't even understand how it is when you cannot have Stripe, or you cannot have those things, I'm from Ukraine. I couldn't get, we didn't have PayPal in Ukraine. I had to travel to Poland to cross the border, just to get the PayPal account, So those initial bottlenecks people would face, in some countries are just ridiculous. So that happened. You overcame that period of time. So then, so you started with that person. What countries you started in? What did you start to sell? How did it go?
Yeah. So honestly, the whole 2019 was very slow. Because I was still studying university. I only dropped out essentially, later 2019, June, something like that. I dropped out and focused on this full time. But first half a year when from the beginning 2019 until mid 2019, we were only scaling with PayPal, but then we found out about BlueSnap because we didn't have Stripe in Czech Republic. Yep. So we got onboarded with BlueSnap. But then BlueSnap is not integratable through Shopify. So we need to find out Cardhook and, I wasn't networking back in the day that much with people, because again, a lot of false beliefs, and there was like literally no one from Czech Republic who would know stuff like that. So I mean, pretty much.
Hey guys, people have been asking me how we scale to multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook. And we have a very sophisticated solution for this that I want to share with you, but it's just like too valuable to give away for free. So if you guys want this solution, just book a call with one of my team members and we'll show you exactly what it is and how it works, and we'll see if that's a good fit for you and for your business. So just book a call with my team member. We'll share it with you so you can scale your business to multiple 6 figures or even 7 figures per month without getting shut down on Facebook, without having inconsistency, and with high profitability. So just book a call with my team and I'll see you there.
We were selling to e-packet countries, PayPal, then also BlueSnap. So we finally got credit card. Then things started moving, but I mean, I was just still, dumb fuck. I mean, I still am, but we were actually having a niche store, jewelry store that went really well. So we were focusing literally on selling high quality jewelry products. But yeah, then we eventually transitioned towards the general stores, but not kind of like a general store that you would say, oh, this is sketchy shit, We really tried to make it such that it's perceived like a little Amazon,
And shipping from China, like AliExpress, or you had an agent at that
Shipping
point?
from China, but we already had an agent who is like, I'm still friend with him. I'm actually building a little side project, like cash on delivery business, where I'm selling to actually Eastern European countries, such as Czech, Slovakia. Right now, we're actually in Poland as well. On a very low scale, like every store is doing like maybe 1K turnover per day, but it's cash on delivery, already charging VAT. So I'm kind of trying to, anticipate what might happen in July. And in case we, let's say, don't get to, as I already told you in the beginning, like 40% margins, I still know that if my drop shipping is like, yeah, if worst comes to worst, I still have COD that is making me, I don't know, at that point, maybe 5K net per day, So, but I mean, sorry, what was the question? If did I answer it?
It's I answered the question. I asked a question, and then you answer something else, and then I'm thinking about else. We are fucking entrepreneurs. We are ADNG, ADHD. We're all over the place. It's like
that's true.
It's like I don't know what the fuck the question was.
Yeah.
Having good time, having good conversation. That's interesting. Now, you mentioned 2020, like after the COVID hit, like you've had like big like bump in sales, or no? Like what happened?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So when Corona first hit, we were already selling. That's probably roughly a year ago, right? So roughly a year ago, that's when Corona first hit. We were already selling to German, and we were already having a general store, pretty good looking general store. And what we did, with my partner, we went on AliExpress, and we searched for a product, and we found that football bungee solo trainer, that kind of like a waist cord where you have a string and you attach ball to the string, and kids can play around, with the ball alone. So, and the thing is that I saw that some people were selling it on Facebook, we were checking AdSpy, but the thing is everyone was selling it while saying, improve your ball skills. And I was like, man, what the fuck, So I went to the comments on those ads and I essentially read through, and I was trying to look for patterns. Like every time I'm analyzing something, I'm trying to look for patterns. And so I noticed every single fucking comment was from mother or a father. So I was like, man, they don't give a shit whether their kid will be having a better football skills. They just want to get them out, so that they're not playing computer games. Because if it's COVID and it's lockdown and you can't play on a training field with your friends, maybe you can actually at least get them out and play like this, alone with the cord, at least you're out. So our positioning was completely different from the people who were selling it as a improve your fucking ball skills. We were like, get your child away from computer. And that's when it clicked. Like we got CPC of like around 10 cents, like ROAS first day, I would say around 7, 30 sales first day. And we made pretty good cash with that product. We scaled it in Germany. Then we created, because then our mentality was like, okay, it's selling really well in Germany. We made maybe 200K with the product turnover within like 3 weeks or maybe like a month or so. So then we created the EU store. So we were selling it to UK and Ireland because again, European country is like full of football fans, right? So we scaled it there as well. And so Corona actually affected us positively because we knew how to approach it. And from then on, we actually realized, okay, we can actually build something big because it doesn't have to be just football bungee. Let's build a team. And that's where like really we started to take it seriously. And we really just started doubling down on that.
That's interesting. So for, that first market for you was like Germany, like where you just really focused on?
I mean, we first scale on, I think it was ePacket, but it was still, it's like we made like, let's say 60K turnover with like 28% margin. So we made like, we made some cash, but then I had to study. And, again, like I said, a lot of false beliefs. I was so slow, looking backwards and reflecting backwards. I would tell to myself, like never ever like step to the university, just like double down on the drop shipping. Don't ever look back, streamline, focus on one thing and fuck everything else, But I was like, we made some cash. So I wanted to do some personal branding because people were reaching me out because I posted some, out of fucking ego stuff. And like, I don't know, I was like 23 years old and, or 22. And so I was like ego, posted screenshots, people reached me out. So I was like, oh man, I can make money with mentoring. So I started doing mentoring, then more people reached me out. But then in the end, you charge people 1K, but they take you a lot of time. And then sometimes they don't even succeed. So, and then they blame you, So I was like, there was a lot of like, it was a whole fucking roller coaster.
That's why we only work like, so our community is like, we want like only like people that are advanced. Like, I think people have to like do the pass, like initial pass by themselves. Then it's hard. Like initially, like yeah, man, it's and then it drags you down. Like fuck, it's like
100%. So I mean, but we focused on ePacket, and then with those general stores, I kind of like once I dropped down the personal branding or whatever, for the lack of better words, once I dropped it and like really focused on drop shipping only. That's where real magic started to happen because I already had experience and I had a focus and I had a time because at that point I already dropped out from university. So I had full focus. So April 2020, that's where really magic started to happen.
So what numbers you've done like April, May, like 2020?
April, May 2020, in those 2 months, maybe like, I don't know, 300K revenue euros with like, I would say like 28% margin, something like that.
Not bad.
I mean, yeah, it was like, it's nothing spectacular, but it was a good start. It was something that it was rather like a trigger, that made me realize, all right, let's double down on this.
That's interesting. And so after that, you focused on the same approach, like till like the rest of the year?
Mm-hmm. So then May, we started hiring, we hired a bunch of people. We hired a video editor, great girl, 17 years old hustler. We onboarded actually, a few other people. I actually gave work he's a kid like 17 years old. He's actually from the same city. So kind of like I, took him under my wings because he was like a fast learner, very, very smart person. And so I onboarded a few people, some from, the same countries, some from other countries, and then eventually media buyers. So I built a little team of kind of like the key people. So I had a person who could do everything. That's the first hire. Then my right hand, that's the kid, also could build, Shopify stores and everything. Video editor, media buyer, then email marketer. And slowly, like we started with that small team. But again, I was like very bad at managing because I didn't really work anywhere, because I was a student where they literally teach you nothing about nothing practical. Like it's a good theory. I mean, I love education. I think the baccalaureate taught me a lot, but it's it's completely another discussion, right? But we started like this. I had to learn a lot how to manage and all that stuff. But then, we expanded to all other countries such as Norway, Sweden, Denmark, etc. Which, in my opinion, again, reflecting back, was we expanded to those countries too fast because we thought like, okay, right now we will go to all those countries. But the thing is that we still didn't crack the code because I would consider that one crack the code when you hit maybe 20, 30K per day on that single market. Then you may be like, okay, cool. Right now I can just duplicate this to all other countries. But when you're hitting, let's say 10K a day on a single on one country, and you try to already go to else, if you want to make, I don't know, 1-2 million a month, cool, you can do it like this. But my goal is definitely 9 figures and beyond, like 9 figures in terms of, let's say, within 1 to 2 years maximum. So with that goal in mind, you really need to kind of like think in terms of formulas. So come up with a formula from one country, and then, then just like replicate the process. Too fast expansion, but it is what it is. We learn a lot from our mistakes. And again, right now we will still continue doing a lot of mistakes, but I mean, that's pretty much about it.
That's awesome, man. So what is like, so throughout this like time periods, right? Because you come from the environment, like Eastern European, I mean, a lot of the beliefs and everything. So what helped you to basically kind of like change your beliefs, right? Like what environments, like, or what like exposure, what information helped you to change your beliefs, or what actions? But I mean, actions are predicated on beliefs in the first place, right? Like, so somehow you take those actions, right? Like what helped you? What were like the main kind of like switching points, right? You're saying like, for the way I'm thinking about this, like someone who's watching, right? And who's doing, I don't know, like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a day. And like, like something is lacking, right? Like there's a reason like why they're like not doing at least, $100,000, $500,000, so that kind of like, what do you think it was in your particular case?
I think that's a very good question, because I keep asking myself, because right now I'm at a certain level, but the thing is that everything is relative, right? Right now there is another guy who is doing $1 million a day. So I should be asking myself a question, what actions or what beliefs I have to adapt in order to get to that $1 million level or a day, or let's say $1 million a day. It's still doable. I mean, but let's say 200K a day, and then like 500K a day, then $1 million a day. So I would say that there was like a lot of trigger points, but like I already told you before we actually started recording this call, I'm a big believer that really business is a reflection of you, and so really when someone is doing 1K, 3K days and has a goal of 10K days and is not there, I wouldn't necessarily look at the business as such. I would rather look at myself, what I'm doing, let's say, am I waking up at time? On time? Am I reading, a book a day? Am I meditating or praying or, stuff like that? Am I actually learning something, or am I procrastinating? Am I lazy fuck? Am I negative towards people? What are my thoughts, So I have I have pretty holistic perspective, because like I told you, the best numbers right now we are doing, we're doing the best numbers that we've been ever doing. And I bet that we will definitely only continue to grow. I mean, of course, there will be ups and downs, but really it's about becoming comfortable in the uncomfortable. Because like I told you, before that spike in sales, what I did was I was like, okay, I need to change my mentality. I need to change myself first. Boom. I started going outside, jumping into a frozen lake, being there, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, because it's uncomfortable, because I hate it, because I don't like it, right? I also meditate twice a day for a long time. I read, 20, 30 pages a day, not even just business literature and stuff like that. But yeah, to maybe give someone like advice who is doing maybe 1, 3, 5K a day, I would say like really focus on yourself, be definitely persistent, but be relentless and be savage. Just go really hard, and figure out the formula. Because what I found out recently is that it's definitely persistent, but it's also speed. So it's like balance between speed and patience, because you got to be patient, but also you need to act fast. But I guess that's pretty much it. Definitely just learn something new every day. It sounds cliche, but it is what it is.
Okay, so what kind of like motivated you to, in the first place, to go like and jump into the fucking lake? Like what, like why like first? I mean, everyone can jump in the fucking lake, right? Like everyone can do stuff that's like, but like, you know what I mean? Like it's.
I got you. Like, I mean, I liked money. I like nice things since my early childhood. I mean, what's funny is that the more money I make, the less I care about these things. But really, it was definitely money, even nice cars, and my parents, my mother, because I really wanted to kind of like just I love to be independent. I would never be able to, I would say probably that being scared of having to work for someone. I just hate even thinking about working under someone, I just like hate this, so I guess that was like the first trigger point. And then I started listening to podcasts, and even to motivational speeches, from even right now you would call it a big toll, but in the beginning, when you're like, let's say when you're a broke student, you're smoking weed every day and like you don't give a shit, you just like you're chasing girls, and stuff like that, partying. when you want to make that switch, you first really, like you said yourself, you need to jump into that. Like, you need to want to do that yourself. You need to convince yourself and have a very deep purpose inside. And for me, that purpose was first not having to work under someone, and then definitely, just wanting to provide for my parents, for both my father and my mother.
Mm-hmm. Now it makes sense. Now that's what I was looking for. I think every person has it, right? Like, it's not just, I think some people never let it like just fucking push, never let it that desire fucking drive their, you know what I mean? They suppress it, they fucking suppress it, And
I'm interested, like, what was it for you, the trigger point? Because you're coming maybe even from a worse background than I do, so like, what was it for you that kind of, what made you jump to the lake?
The same, man. Like, I haven't seen, like, my mom was always like, had to travel like abroad, like to work, like in other countries for other people. And, I lived without my mom like 7 years because she was like abroad, like she couldn't just travel back and forth. And so I wanted, like, I mean, it's like, and that's pretty much came down to financial shit, right? Like, because she wanted to provide. And so, and I just wanted, like, to never have that fucking situation again, It's like, you know what I mean? Like, fuck. Like, those fucking basics, it's like, fuck. Like, why family can be together, like, why that shit, man. So
I guess that you succeeded, right?
Yeah, I think so. And also, like, I think the same is used, like, when, you see something, like, you can't work for someone, like, it's fired, like, so many fucking times. So I would just fire you, like, it's the best decision that happened, it's like, and then, like, but then at the same time, yeah, I think the big, for me, I think the big one was just, like, living outside of the exposure of, like, let's say you have, like, friends or you have, like, family, right? Living outside of their, like, area of, like, influence, like moving, like, so for example, some people live with their parents. I think, like, it's might be good, but in many cases it fucks them up because, like, parents have the influence, like, if you live in their place, right, like, you subconsciously feel that they're in charge, right? And, like, you're doing stuff that they tell you to do, right? And you don't actually, like, never fully, like, responsible for your shit. And I think that is a big one. At least for me, I moved early, from my parents' place, and it was big one. I think it was.
I think that's definitely, like, really, really huge advice, because, like, environment is everything, like peers and everything, especially, during, like, our being teenager and early 20s.
If I would, like, hang around, like, a lot of the people that I hang around with, like, they're already fucking dead.
Yeah.
They're already fucking dead. Like, either drugs, alcohol, fucking, I don't know, shit, like, different shit, So it's like, either you just move from that, like, environment, just fucking relocate. Especially if you're, like, in shitty countries, shitty, like, city, shitty fucking neighborhood, you gotta fucking relocate. There's no fucking, like, otherwise it fucking will kill you. Like, or, like, it just, like,
Show me your friends, I will tell you your future, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, man, I think that's, like, people are looking for these, like, tactics, right? Like, hey, fucking, how to set up this Facebook ad, like, in this particular fucking setting, right? But, the stuff that we're talking about is, like, so much more, like, impactful, right?
100%.
If you learn, like how to, like, so if you learn how to make decisions, not just, like, whatever decision you have, you'll figure it out. I think that's, like, there's nothing, like, you can figure out everything, at the end of the day. It's like, if you have obviously sufficient time and give it some proper thoughts, well, first you have to, like, be in the right environment. So you can actually fucking think.
Yeah, I think I read it in Atomic Habits, like, literally, like, even about, because, I mean, everything is a lot of our behavior is automatic, right? It's happening on automatic, like your thoughts and everything. It's kind of like pouring out from the subconscious to the conscious. And a lot of that is happening in an automatic way. And so habits and everything, one of the biggest impact on developing a habit is actually environment, which is what you just, like, explained, right? Like, peers, parents, where are you at? Are you even in a, like,
I can fucking guarantee you, like, now you check in Czech Republic, you move to fucking Dubai, whatever, like, wherever, like, if you move to better environment, like, your business will just fucking go like this. I can fucking guarantee it. Because we lived in Europe, different places. So we live in Poland. Like, so from Ukraine to Poland, already like big fucking difference, Like I started think like independently, had to fucking work, had to figure out shit. And we moved to Malta. We lived there for a year. And it was also like more expensive, like cost of living. We lived in a very like good neighborhood, but also like, standards, like environment, people, like just changes. We grew the business there, so we moved here, like we moved to Miami, like our business just fucking exploded. And it's because you see that, you see the abundance, you see the fucking people, you see what's possible, you see like that, for example, you live in a building where it's like one apartment can cost like 30 mil. So you see that there is like, there's a lot of money around you, and that shit is like, because you see there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, because you're exposed to the abundance directly, right? And
correct.
And again, like you're perceiving, it's like maybe not always you are conscious about it, right? But a lot of that stuff, like literally it's like that iceberg and the ocean, right? 10% maybe is like conscious, and then I don't know, like maybe 30-40% is subconscious, and then like the majority is actually unconscious or something like that. But the point is that you're perceiving a lot of things without actually realizing that you perceive them, that you interact with them somehow in some shape or form. So yeah, like a lot of that stuff is it is definitely crucial to be surrounded to be in a good environment.
For sure. Cool. Let's go some tactical shit. Facebook ads, how do you approach it? How do you structure it? How do you like UGC? I see you have it on the back, like it says UGC. Like, what do you do for UGC?
In terms of media buying, I don't do media buying at all. I haven't touched my ads for like maybe a month already. Because I really try to focus to work on the business, not in, and I believe that, and I just like try to get in the right type of people that I can build leaders from, and then I just give them the freedom. So the way before we actually dive into media buying, maybe that's also like a good tip for maybe someone who is just about to, like just having that breakthrough from, let's say 10 to 30, 40, 50K days. I believe that it's very important. Your first hires are super important because those people can become leaders of your departments, right? So I hired a media buyer, very, very smart guy, like numbers driven and pretty good media buyer. He's doing media buying. And right now we hired a new bunch of media buyers because I want to have just like focused one media buyer per country. And he's already coaching them. We prepared together for them the trainings, but then he's training them, right? And the same for other departments. Video editor, we will hire new video editors, but that leading video editor will already coach the other video editors. So you have departments with leaders, and that's what I believe is the way to go. And in terms of media buying, honestly, media buying as such is not that difficult in my opinion. You just need to stick with what's working for you. We only do dynamic creatives all the way. We don't do anything else. And we just test a lot of creatives. We test around 3 to 5 products a day. Right now, a little bit less because again, we have a bunch of winners, but we don't even have a cash flow to scale them to their maximum potential, right? Because we actually had to scale down because of cash flow issues. Like I told you, PayPal threshold, Klarna payouts are slow, and just like literally the spike in the sales was too fast for our business. Anyways, in terms of tactics, I can be completely.
If you ask me, I don't know much about it either. So if you don't know about it, like it's like I don't know, something happening there. Like someone is doing something there, and like it's somehow profitable. So it's like I don't know. It's probably magic. So
what do we do? I can summarize it in a few sentences. The way we test products is 4 ad sets. 25 euros per day, I believe, and just 3-4 creatives per ad set. It's all that all 4 ad sets are dynamic creatives. 1 ad set is broad, 1 ad set is, I believe, engaged shoppers, 1 ad set is some broad large keyword, and 1 ad set is stacked small interests. So that's like 4 ad sets. That's the way we test. Then if we let it run for around 2 days, we find the product is a winner, boom. We launch a bunch of, we create new campaign, and then we start testing interest. Then from the interest, we let them kind of like cook, we let them run for 1-2 days. and then we take the winners and put them on a high budget, like let's say manual bidding with cost cap at 20% ROAS. Then what we do, we duplicate them eventually into, actually CBO started performing quite well from what I heard from my media buyer. So it's CBO, $1,000, but the thing is that you need to have a proper foundation. Whether you will launch 4 ad sets, 5 ad sets, what will be the budget? It doesn't fucking matter unless you have the right foundation. So testing a lot of creatives is key. And this is probably what got us to the point to 60K per day. This is what got us to 50K euros on German market only. We had only 3 winning products that generated us 50K on German market. A lot of people would be like, man, German market, you can reach these numbers. Yeah, man, and you can do even double, triple, quadruple than that, because it really comes down to creatives. And what really kind of shifted my mentality is when I was talking to my friend, and he actually maybe even don't realize that or don't remember it, but he said that he was consulted by one agency owner. I don't remember his name right now, but he said, we have a brand, and the way we perceive creatives is it's a product for us. For what the dropshipper is perceiving as a product, agency owners have given products. They can't test 5 products a day. So what they are doing, they perceive different creatives as different products, right? So they launch, let's say, 5 different kind of creatives, but they perceive them as a product. They cut what's not working, and then they take one winning creative, and bam, they double down. And once they have that winning creative, they make 20 different scroll stoppers for that creative, 20 different, let's say headers, different titles, and so you tear apart your winning creative, and then you just elaborate on that. And what we are doing, we are using the strategy that I believe that actually I heard that from you and Jörg Knettel when you were talking on I think it was, some call or something. And you were he was explaining to the influencer marketing strategy. So what we did, we reached out to a bunch of influencers, closed them on a non-written contract, just like a written word. We tell them, look, we will send you a bunch of products, you will send us the back content. We don't give a shit whether you will post it on your Instagram or not. We just want the content. We are delivering them the guidelines. We tell them what to shoot, how to shoot it. Let's say I tell them, I don't know, you're selling this bracelet, right? So I tell them, okay, cool. Look, so this bracelet is citrine, it attracts abundance and wealth. So what I want to do, what do you want to do? Make, let's say, print out a lot of cash from your computer and, show the bracelet and be throwing money like this, I would bet I know that this would work because people have money and this is actually attracting money. So the positioning would be perfect, but the influencers wouldn't necessarily know how to do that. So we deliver them very clear guidelines about what we want from them. And that way we make sure that the content is high quality. And right now we have only 2 influencers that we work with. They're really good, very nice looking ladies. We actually sell mostly to women. But my goal is to actually just have, let's say, even 50 influencers active and just getting shit ton of load of content, because then I will not even know how to scale. Then I will not know what to do with the money, because I know that the content is everything. And if I have a proper training and proper influencers that are trained and that are paid well, and I build kind of a culture, even culture for influencers. It sounds crazy, but really I believe that that's the holy grail. And if there is one thing that people should take from this interview, I would love that to be, beside the mental stuff that we discussed, it's UGC, and start working with influencers, guys. Don't sleep on influencers, because the content that they can give you is immense. And then you can just even reach out to some Fiverr guy, because the thing is that you don't need to have the best video editor. You need to have a person who understands conversion-driven principle. What's good scroll stopper? What's the good storyline, and then you just need a good content. Content is everything. This is everything. That's why it's here, right? Yeah, I would say instead of tactics, focus on strategies. And this is the best strategy, how to get to, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 200 million a day.
This is awesome, man. And it's Facebook at this point is so fucking sophisticated. It's you don't need anything. People ask me do I put this targeting option and then I narrow it to with lookalike and narrow it to interest? I was fuck. It's why would that be fucking concern? Just put, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Just put broad, put lookalikes, put some interest. It doesn't fucking matter. But what matters, the ad level, the creatives, some people it takes a bit more time to comprehend that, but people who do comprehend that are killing it, like you. So good to hear that.
I would say that people don't even want to understand it because they're looking always for that tactic that would make them, rich or something. I was like that back in the day as well. I was looking, should I, put 1 day attribution or 7 day, 7 days view or 1 day click, and stuff like, should I put, automatic placements or IG and Facebook feed only and stupid stuff like that, when in reality right now, the best thing that we are right now doing, and that is probably making the most money, is broad automatic placement, 18 plus, women, both genders. So literally no interest targeting, nothing, everything open. And then you just like pump in as much creatives as possible. That's the secret.
For sure. That's exactly how we do it, with basically sourcing directly from influencers. And then like they don't post anywhere, but we just source the content. That what we found is that you might have seen it the same on your side, is that like some of the people, for whatever fucking reason, like they just convert better than others. Some faces like just convert better than others. So we have good relationship with some like people now that is like pretty much like new products that we have. They basically are kind of like go-to people.
I noticed the same thing. We had actually like 4 or 5 influencers, but we sticked only with 2 because they just, I don't know, like both of them are very good looking. So maybe that's the case. And one is from actually America. She's like a MILFy, she's like a pretty good MILF, nice looking lady. I mean, no disrespect to women, but yeah, she's just a good looking, and she has a tanned skin and everything. So I guess that people like that. It attracts attention. So it definitely makes sense what you're saying. And I mean, how many influencers you got? Do you have like, let's say, or maybe even how do you approach it? Do you have like few, or do you like circle it, and do you just like, let's say, have a dedicated person who is reaching them out on a daily basis, and just like, do you keep attracting new, or do you have it rather stable?
We would rather stable because, our model is different. We don't do general stores. Like our model is like, it's either one product stores or like niche stores. So we stick with same stuff, and we source the content for the great part from the customers. So we ask customers for the content. We send them the free product, or we pay them for the content, and that's how we source it. So people who bought from you, if you have people who bought from you more than once, those are amazing people to ask for, like, hey, if thank you for buying from us. Like, if we send you like a free product, would you be able to send us, like a piece of content? And here's examples of how it can look like, and we'll send you the free product. Just let them know, is that the same address, this address? That's it.
I think that's very good strategy. And do you have a Facebook community for your brands?
Yeah, some of them, not all of them. And it's, some of them we tried, but it's fucking dead, so it's depending on the niche, some niches are more alive than others. So it's, it's that kind of like, it depends. Like depends on, but if it's like a general store, I think it's probably will be like difficult to even.
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's definitely a goal to transition to like rather a niche store, and just come out and just like make it a brand, just brand it around, just narrow the selection of products, make the products better, packaging better, faster shipping and everything, Yeah. So, but I think that just the idea of having a Facebook community just really fascinates me, and it actually it pretty much inspires me, because kind of like just imagining that you have a group of people who literally put enough trust to you that they bought from you, and then you have them on one place, and you see their profiles, you check them, and maybe then have a customer rep who is just leading them, and leading the conversations. To me, this is really, it makes me kind of like, it makes me feel good, it's like, that's definitely the goal. So yeah, awesome job on that. That's really cool.
Yeah, man. But I mean, it's not for every like niche. Some people more like private, it's like, but I mean, it's, for example, the community at the end of the day, like that's kind of like the foundation for the business. Is fucking huge, because if you have that kind of like community of people that give a shit, like it's, you get a lot of feedback about the products, you get feedback about the experience, what could be done better, and people say, what other products would you like to see? Like new product fucking ideas. It's like, oh man, it's like people build a business for you. It's like the same as we have community, even with the training program, right? Like, you guys community. I'm not even like, I check the community from time to time, but I have shit to do. And so it's like you guys are like somehow managing it, and you're all happy. So I'm happy too. You're happy. I'm happy. Everyone is happy. Guys are even like having the calls now. They started. You're having calls, like organizing that community. Obviously, we had we have Luca and we have other guys that are managing that stuff, but it's a community, right? Like people. Same with e-commerce. The same with. I mean, we had a conversation today with the Simon. He's selling in German market. He has this like very interesting model. Basically, he's selling information product and then the physical product. So kind of like that interconnection. Very interesting. And then he said that he created the group, like Facebook group for his customers, and now they're like people like sharing stuff with each other. It's like communicating. It's like what. It's like, so that part, and I think it will be even more and more because, trust, like people get burned like with bad experience, and like as time goes, like it's, they'll be just like more and more like fucking skeptical. I think, you'll still be able to sell people stuff. Some people don't treat like, they just like buy emotionally, but it's eventually, they get more and more sophisticated as time goes. They get burned through time, bad purchases, they wait for a package for like 3 months and like
100%. And I guess that even when you're looking for an exit later on, I bet that this will increase the multiples that you can then sell it for as well, because you say, hey, look, like we have a community of our customers here, it's like a holy grail for
selling something with like fucking repeat purchase ratio, like you on Shopify you have like repeat purchase rates like 1% is like fucking good luck. It's like I mean, unless you get someone like who is not sophisticated, but we're inquiring about the businesses because we constantly exploring options to buy businesses, and people would send these like reports and like it's no repeat customers. Like how come? Like I mean, then it's fucking shit. And then say it's like we have delivered great customer experience. No, you are fucking not. So. I mean, at the end of the day, but it's different models, like different business models, different like you drop ship, you make money, you capital, but then have to fucking evolve.
Yeah, I think that drop shipping is great for like building cash flow, which is actually our goal. But right now, I already feel myself that I start to feel like I really want to gradually start to transition, and I'm not saying that I will build with this current, model that we're right now transitioning into. I'm not saying that I will build new snow teeth whitening, maybe eventually once maybe I will get some idea in the shower or when I'm meditating or something, maybe then eventually I will build some project like that. Right. But even just me as a dropshipper, I mean, right now we go savage. We test a lot of products, we're not perfect. I'm not saying a word. Our customer ratio, I don't know, is like return, I don't know, 5, 7, 8, 10%. I would say like around 5, 6, 7, something like that. We have a pretty thorough backend set up. But with that, I kind of like feel I even want to, like improve the experience myself, because right now we start to have cash. We start to have some reserves that we can invest. And we also have some products that I start to believe that can be improved and can, like packaging, packaging quality. And I'm really right now like interested in subscription, because we have a product that is kind of like consumable, and I would love to build like, some subscription model for that. But because that's what fascinates me the most. It's like you can get people to subscribe. And the thing is that even from kind of like from when you look at it from a little bit different perspective, it's like when people subscribe for something for 20 euros, what's the percentage that they will fucking cancel it? They will probably forget it. And even if they don't want to use it, they will be having your subscription until, I don't know, a month to come. So you will acquire that customer. Since us dropshippers, it's like Sam from your community, the system guy, he actually said very smart thing. And it's like dropshippers are great marketers. Amazon sellers are great at branding, right? So you should learn from each other. Dropshippers from Amazon sellers from dropshippers. And so, I mean, the whole idea of the subscription and just having that recurring revenue. And since we are good marketers, maybe paying 10, 13 euros, 15 euros to acquire a customer, that will then make you within a period of like calculating the lifetime value, let's say within a period of 6 months, making you, let's say 6 times 20, that's 120, 15, 120, man, that's like 8 ROAS right there, right?
I like this. Let me show you this analogy. How many fucking dropshippers been selling? I mean, I like this example so much. How many dropshippers been selling this fucking product? You know, the massage gun. You know, the massage gun.
Yeah, 100%.
But this company, like, they've taken this product, like they improved it. They changed. The same fucking product. They just like fucking different shape. It's the same fucking thing. You can get it for $100. It's probably the same, but they branded it properly, like selling it for like 6 times as much. It's like fucking overcharging, but you can see like the fucking niche, right? Like niche store, like pretty much. Like they have plenty of different types, colors and shit. Like now they have this here. They have also now the supplements, right? So the supplements, probably they like, supplements like, hey, it can help you with fucking pain as well. Like, so everything is about like relieving people from pain, which is good, good message as a company. And but then it's like how do you approach it? Like, do you fucking drop ship like one product and then it fucking dies in 3 months, or you build like something like it's like 2016 they started, right? Like, I mean, they were probably like one of the pioneers in this space. Now they got the Sharapova as an investor and also ambassador, and also they got the Jay-Z and like some other big guys, and they sponsor the Arsenal and Real Madrid teams and Paris Saint-Germain. Like, so they're doing like in the right direction, doing like 120 million a year revenue or something.
120 million a year?
Yeah, selling fucking those guns. Like,
that's very cool. And the idea of like using using top athletes as an ambassadors, that's really smart.
It comes at a certain stage, right? I mean, if you're doing like fucking $5 million a year, like $10 million a year, probably it's not the right time to do that, right? Not the most impactful, because what that partnership with ambassadors more for like brand perceived value, right? Like, so that's more for the company who buys it. Oh, this company works with like Arsenal. Like, oh fuck, that's probably worth like $1 billion now because they work with Arsenal, right?
Yeah, but at a certain point, because of course you gotta have a cash to invest. Because I bet that I would say that I think that it was from the course from Josh Snow, who I think powerhouse it is. And he's like really good with influencers, right? That's how we actually got the brand. I mean, I would say that really how to make the brand viral is start Facebook. I don't really know, but that's kind of like what I believe that to be the case. And that's how I probably will approach it. Take something that's maybe working, start selling it. It doesn't have to be the perfect product, but okay, cool. You got feedback, it's selling well. Now, maybe it's a crappy product, but it's selling. Cool, you can start investing into it. You can start, improving packaging quality. Boom, you got some pretty solid product. You start sending it out to influencers. But the thing is that at that point, let's say you're doing, I don't know, 500K a month, $1 million a month, something like that. So you have something solid that is making you money already. And then boom, you just start building kind of like a arsenal of influencers. And then you start, going for bigger and bigger and bigger. And actually Josh Snow mentioned in that, I believe, that it was in that course, that those people even goes for profit share, and then you do like the dark posts with them. So they actually like, they promote your products beneath their page. And then it's like a whole nother level. But this whole, kind of like scope of possibility that is ahead of you once you have a brand is like immense.
For sure, man, for sure. And it's, I mean, with skill set that a lot of dropshippers, especially like advanced people like you and, if you know how to like do like 7 figures, like multiple 7 figures, like dropshipping, you probably have like a very good like skill set in like selling stuff, right? And if you have that skill set of like selling stuff, then it's just a matter of like what you do fucking with it, right? Like if you do like, whether you do like $few million and you buy like a fucking house and you buy like a fucking cars, or you made this money, like just fucking pour it back in, do something more stable with it.
I think that it really comes down to a lot of just, it's all, to me, success is all about internalizing false beliefs. And, a lot of false belief of us dropshippers might be, okay, I gotta kind of like stick to this because it's working and I'm not sure how I would, make brand work. I mean, I had that mentality as well, but right now it's kind of like I'm slowly internalizing it because I'm exposed to people who are managing brands such as yourself, Sam, and other people in the community, and anyway, it's all about like internalizing the false beliefs. And I believe that us dropshippers just need to understand, I mean, man, we know how to make money via Facebook ads selling €20 products, $20 products. It's like, it's already hard enough, right? So I believe that when we stick to something and just like believe in the product and like, I mean, wholeheartedly, then you can make like literally anything work.
I wouldn't fucking sell $20 product. It's like, it's still like you make money with it, but like on a scale, it's fucking like still low margin. Unless this is like something very like mass appeal and like something, you know, I would like, I mean, even Josh selling like product 150. I like something like at least like $80, $100. Like Sam is selling like $300 product, at least $100. So then you have sufficient margin. This company I showed you, like they sell $500 fucking massage gun like $100 on Amazon. It's like, you know, it's like just premium. Hey, here's everyone else, and here's fucking us. You know, it's like you can use all of this crap, or like this is it, right? So if you can buy like Apple, or like you can buy like Huawei, or you know, whatever those are. So it's interesting, but I think like dropshippers have like very it's like what you just do is a fucking skill set, right? Like I've seen such websites like dropshippers, because I know now how to differentiate dropshipper from not dropshipper. I go to shipping policies. If product being shipped for like fucking 2 weeks, it's dropshipping from China. It's like, it's not from like local warehouse. And they're getting so good, you know, some of the guys, that it's like, wow, you know, they know how to sell. They know how to create the perception, the right perception.
Direct response marketing, yeah. It's like I would say that if us dropshippers like just, but I mean, again, I feel it like, dropshipping is great for cash flow. You know, it's like you don't have much inventory, you don't have like much cost per se. So I believe that it's great to, you know, and I would say that it's even sustainable unless you're doing some completely fucked up, sketchy shit. I think that it's even sustainable. But long term, it's like dropshipping will make you rich. Brands will make you wealthy, I would say. So yeah, definitely. I would say that more of us dropshippers should eventually just, even on the side, start building something that we kind of like vibe with, you know, and something that you can exit. And the thing is that, again, formula, it's all about formulas, right? Figure out the formula, figure out how to make the dropshipping, automate it, let it run, let it make you bucks, and then to use that money wisely. Don't buy fucking Lamborghini. I mean, then eventually, yes, sir, you know, but take the money, invest it into something that, and just stick with it. You can replicate everything that you're doing in the dropshipping in a slightly different way. You know, maybe you will not have too much product researchers, but maybe you will have rather, on the other hand, product development studio. But video editing, you know, is the same. Shopify and all that stuff is pretty much similar. So my mentality is right now, let's crack the code with dropshipping. We start to kind of like feel like we little bit know what to do. I mean, we are still rookies, like in the industry. There are guys who I talk to that are doing 200K days easy, like, and they talk about it like as if I'm doing right now. I don't know, you know, they talk about it like nothing. So I know that like way more is possible, but let's, you know, so we start to crack the code. Let's kind of like build a company as such and then replicate it, but do the brand, and brand number 1, brand number 2, brand number 3, you know, boom, boom, boom. And then you can sell some, keep some based on what you vibe with. And I mean, right now I'm just thinking out loud, but that's pretty much, I would say, what I'm about to do in upcoming months and maybe years to come.
For sure, man. That's the way to go. You know, it's like, how do you leverage the skill set and the time that you have in a way where it's like has leverage possible, right? Because time investment, like, I mean, it's pretty much similar. Man, good conversation we have. Fuck. I have to jump on another call. What like advice, like main piece of advice to someone's like doing like $3,000-$5,000 a day drop shipping, just like been at that level for some time, you know? There are some people that been like at certain level for like months or years, you know? What would be your advice?
I would say start with yourself, you know? If you're hitting 3 to 5K days, and you want to be hitting 10K days, the mistake is not in the business. The mistake is in you. So start looking inward, start with yourself, you know, look at all areas on about yourself, what you're doing, you know. Yeah, just reflect, like heavy reflection on yourself, like brutally honest reflection. No fucking bullshit around. I would say that that's the starting point. Then And the thing is that that's what people don't want to, you know, hear, because they always look for fucking shortcuts. So there is no shortcut. Just look inwards, think, you know, reflect on what you're doing, be brutally honest with you, jump into the uncomfortable and fucking stay there and get there comfortable. And when it gets comfortable there, jump into another fucking uncomfortable shit where until it gets comfortable again, and then again, and then again, and then again. And that's how we keep, that's my philosophy about how you will keep evolving, you know? So that's kind of like from a holistic perspective. And from a tactical standpoint, just, you know, look at the numbers that you're doing and look at what you're doing. So what really dropshipping is about, you need to be testing products, you need to be testing creatives, and you need to have a good website. So, you know, it's creative and website and products. So these three. If you're doing 3, 5, 10K days.
I repeat this thing for fucking like last 2 years, like, please.
Yeah, just don't look for fucking stupid shit. Just test products, test a lot of creatives.
What attribution window should I use with those? Man, like such good stuff. It's so refreshing to see that we're thinking like on this like fundamental, it's like always getting back to fundamentals, right? And it's not like in some very like advanced, like where is that?
Yeah, sure, I mean,
fundamentals are in check.
That's exactly right. But that's what people don't want to hear, you know? People want that shortcut. People want that get rich quick scheme, I guess. I mean, majority, not everyone, of course, but it's like that normal distribution, right? 80% of the people will just go for shortcuts. Then 15% of people are kind of like those that maybe are hitting 3 to 5K days. And then there is like 4. So 80, then I believe that's from Dan Kennedy, the Godfather copywriter. So he says, you know, 80% of people are pretty much fucked, you know, poor. 15% are people that kind of like start to get it, but they're too lazy maybe, you know? And then like 4% are people who are really already at it, like kind of like crushing it. But then there are 1%ers who are fucking relentless and do whatever it takes, you know, and internalize all that stuff, focus on the fundamentals. And I mean, those are people who really just are ready to bear the suffering, because being constantly in the uncomfortable, and whenever you get comfortable jumping on another one, it's fucking, I mean, it's a definition of uncomfortable, right? It's fucking suffering. But I mean, this is what it is, you know? This was a coach from Michael Jordan, and this is what it is. He talked like Michael was an absolute cleaner. He was absolutely relentless, and he just didn't give a shit. He didn't have much friends. He was lonely. And yeah, I mean, this shit is lonely, right? If you want to get to the top, it's lonely at the top. That's why it's 1%ers, because you're at the 1% of the whole population. So of course the remaining 99 will not get it. 80% will not get you at all. They will think like you're fucking dumb fuck. 15% will be like, will perceive you as a god, because that's their way where they want to be, but they're too lazy. And 4%ers will be like, damn man, you know, maybe how to get there. And they may eventually, maybe, I don't know, get there, but still it's like only circulating. But those 1%ers, they don't even look below them, you know? They constantly look at themselves, because that's the only person that they compare with them with, you know? So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what I would give as a last piece of advice. Just focus on yourself, get comfortable in the uncomfortable. Whenever that happens, go to the other uncomfortable. Don't look for shortcuts, and just fucking work, you know? Don't be a pussy.
That's how we end this interview, guys. Don't be a pussy. Such a good conversation, man. I enjoy it so much. And but it's late for you. Your ordering will tell you, hey, it's your bedtime. Mine tells me like every 9:30 p.m. It tells me like, hey, you've had enough. Go sleep and recover well, man. Thank you so much. And I think this interview will help a lot of people. You know, the same way you watch, like, for example, our other like interviews, or there's someone who will watch, like one fucking person will watch this interview is like, fuck me, like that's it. You know what I mean? Like it will be like, fuck, you know, and we'll start. That's why we are doing this shit. So
yeah, if there is one person that will really be impacted by this, I would be super grateful. And I hope that this will help as many people as possible. That's for sure. Yeah, and by the way, like really thanks for doing this, because I mean, for the big part, I mean, like I told you when we were chatting on the Skype, right? I haven't seen a single video of yours, but the community that you've built of people, you know, there, It's like, that's what matters, you know? And right now you already see it's running on autopilot. And then, you know, I got Walter from there. I got Dante, Bjorn, you know, Michael, and and a few other people who I'm chatting, that I'm talking with on a daily basis. And right now we're jumping on a weekly calls together, as you know, and that's what actually like helped me get where I'm at right now. So yeah, thanks for doing this. And I would say, guys, just keep investing in yourself. That's also like maybe another one that's like, definitely just don't be cheap on yourself, right? It's like
such a good point. I spend like 150 G's like a year like on this stuff, like self-development. I have like personal trainer. I basically have nanny that cooks for us, the programs, the coaching, the masterminds, like, but it's like, how else could you like evolve? And I think it could be better. I think could do more. I can do better than that. Like,
I mean, you're 30. You're 30. That's still nothing, you know.
Yeah, I do cryo, like you know, massage, like all of this shit. Like fucking adds up, you know. Guys, thank you for watching. Marek, man, thank you for taking the time, and I hope we influence some good people with this fucking conversation, and we change some motherfucking lives.
Yes, sir. That's how we roll. Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.
Yes,
right,
sir.
thank you, everyone.
All right,
Marek.